Friday! 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 Oh yeah, it's Friday! Friday, Friday, Friday! Friday, 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 Friday. Thank God it's Friday. Thank God it's Friday. Yeah, they used to film that right down here at the Beverly Center in Los Angeles. That's where the movie Thank God It's Friday was filmed. There was a club called the Odyssey nightclub. It's not there anymore. The Beverly Center tore it all down, and that's where they filmed Thank God It's Friday. That was the more funky answer to Saturday Night Fever, you know? And I like Thank God It's Friday a lot. That was a great movie. In fact, quite honestly, I thought the soundtrack was better than Saturday Night Fever, though I am a John Travolta fan. That's right. That walking down the street in Times Square. I mean, how could you beat that? That set a generation of young guys like me back at that time saying, wow, that's how you pick up on girls. You know, I was like 17 years old when that movie came out, 17, 18 years old. And the only reason why I went there is because my girlfriend wanted to go to the drive-in. That's right. It was reverse. I always wanted to go to the drive-in, but this time she wanted to go to the drive-in, and I said, wow, she wants to go to the drive-in? So we went to the drive-in. I didn't argue. You know, when you asked a girl when you were a teenager, hey, you want to go to the drive-in? There was always some kind of argument. Well, can I take my girlfriend? Can I take my friends? Can we have a party? Can I take my brother? You know, no, my man, she asked me to go to the drive-in, and I didn't have any brothers or sisters or friends because, you know, Jesse T's never had any friends. He's a friendless person. I got no friends. Oh, man. But I got a barber. The barber is back in town. Anyhow, so she said, go to the drive-in. I said, yeah, what are we going to go see? She goes, oh, it's a good movie. So we drive up to the drive-in. Of course, you know, I had to pay, right? But, you know, having to pay for the drive-in in 1977, I think was a buck and a half, right? Or something like that. It was so cheap. I got a gallon of gasoline was 57 cents a gallon, you know. I'm driving up in my 1970 Pinto, right? Right, with the exploding gas tank in the back, you know? Well, we moved that gas tank up, my dad and I, though. We kind of figured, you know, we did a lot of alterations on the car. But nevertheless, 55 cents a gallon for gasoline, $3.50 to fill that car up, man. That's all it talked. I got $20 a week working, right? And yeah, man, $20 a week working. That's what my part-time pay was. I could take my girl out on Friday night. I could go out with the boys on Saturday night. I could fill my tank up, wash my car, buy some new 8-track tapes, and you know, and maybe go down and buy some pants or something, or you know, and have something to eat. I mean, and have money for school the next week. Yeah, unbelievable, isn't it? So anyhow, she says, let's go to the drive-in. I say, okay, let's go to the drive-in, baby. That's right. You know, I had that deep voice. Yeah, baby. That's right, baby. Yeah, I'll take you to the drive-in, baby. Yeah. Yeah. Right on, baby. Into the drive-in we go. That's right. So I ride at the drive-in. That's right. You're going to really bass me out. That's right, baby. I'm going to get you to the drive-in, and you asked me to go to the drive-in. Yeah, right. Man, I sound like a frog with laryngitis. That's what I sound like, a frog with laryngitis, you know? Baby, hey baby, you want some popcorn and a hot dog with mustard on it? Throw some ketchup too, and you can catch up with me. So I end up going to the drive-in with my girl because she asked me to go, and I don't even know what we were going to see. I was just so excited, you know. I was so excited to go to the drive-in that my girl asked me to go to the drive-in, so I figured I was going to get some wing-wang, woong-woong, and woo-woo. Yeah, woo! I was going to have a good time on that Friday night, right? Mm-hmm. So I get to the drive-in, go get some popcorn, get my favorite drink, a Dr. Pepper. I love the Dr. Peppers. Can't have them anymore. I love the Dr. Pepper. Be a pepper, you're a pepper, I'm a pepper, we're a pepper. What a great song. That was a great advertising campaign for Dr. Pepper. So I end up there at the drive-in, right? And all of a sudden the movie starts. So I'm like my grandfather used to say, you swap and spit with your girlfriend? That's right. I was swapping spit with my girlfriend. Thank you very much. Okay. Yes. Our tongues were entwined and twisted. That's right. Oh, God, what a scene. Oh, man. Yes. And so the movie starts. And this guy in these tight-ass pants, right? And this leather jacket and these shiny boots is walking down the street in New York, Times Square. And he's walking himself to work. And that song by the Bee Gees, Saturday Night Live, Saturday Night Fever, baby, right? And I look at this guy, and he's like this Italian guy, and I go, wait a minute. That's Vinnie Barbarino from Welcome Back, Kotter. Vinnie hey, what? Huh? What? 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 Right? Vinnie Barbarino, John Travolta. And I look at this guy, and I go, wait a minute. You got me to see a girl movie? You bushwhacked me into going to see a girl movie at the drive-in? You fool. You fooled me. You conned me. I thought we were going to drive-in to have some driving fun. That's right. Driving fun, baby. You see, whenever you have fun, you got to get down real low like that. How low can you go? That's right. You got to go real low, right? That means love making. When you go a bit high like this, you're excited, but low, baby. Got to go. See how low you can go. All right, so we're watching Saturday Night Fever. And so we got done with the movie. And by the time that movie was over with, yep, they got me. It was, they convinced me faster than an Amway meeting. They convinced me faster than an EST meeting. And those of you who are my age in our 50s, I'm 56, you understand what EST was. They convinced me so fast, and I realized something. Wait a minute. Deep Purple and Black Sabbath and Led Zeppelin and Robin Trower and Emerson, Lake and Palmer and ELO. Wait a minute. Those are cool. I like those a lot. But boy, I like the girls at the nightclub. Yeah. Girls at the nightclub swinging their hips and dancing. Wow. Man, that was it for me. Yes, right. Jesse Terrero. The brown beauty on duty became Jesse Terrero. Disco Dan. Oh, yeah. I loved going to the discotheques. Yep, that was it. And I got my girlfriend back because I met a lot of other girlfriends at the nightclubs. Be careful, ladies, what you take your man to if you're not married to him yet. Yeah. The brown beauty's on duty, Jesse Terrero. You are straight on the point as you enter the world, according to Terrero, on a Friday in Southern California, another beautiful day in paradise. It is beautiful here in Southern California. Where you're at, I'm sure it's mighty fine, too, as the fall is upon us, and winter is coming fast in some parts of the country. The weather is kind of crazy everywhere else, but right here, it's just picture perfect. Pacific blue ocean. That's the Pacific, beautiful blue skies. Oh, the weather's just perfect. Not too hot, not too cold, not too windy. Kind of cool, just perfect. And the weekend is upon us, and we are here to have a good time, kick you into the weekend with a little bit of love. Tender love and happiness, kindness, joy, and all those good words. That's right. So, hey, check us out. Download our app for free. It's the Power of Voices app. You can get it for Apple and Android, and it's free. Free. So download it for free. And also you can check us out at facebook.com/Jesse Terrero on AVTV and the Digital Broadcasting Network. We're here all the time, 24/7 for you. Also, check us out on facebook.com/The Power of Voices. You can also go to our website at www.thepowerofvoices.com and www.aventertainmentlive.com. You can check us out on YouTube Live, Instagram, and Snapchat. Also, YouPeek, Ustream, and Bamboozle. We're everywhere. We're on the air and everywhere, from the community to the world and God's blue-green earth. It's the Jesse T Show. Thank you very much. Thank you. Saying hi to Jeff Langton. Hey, Jeff, what's happening, man? Yeah, that's right, baby. We're popping. We are popping today. Jeff Langton's up north, man. He's I don't know what he's doing. He's probably practicing because he's one heck of a great blues artist. Jeff Langton. Check out his IMDb site, man. Superstar Jeff Langton. Hey, he's also the Jolton J. Saying hi to Mark Rentz. Hey, Mark, how low can you go? Yes, Big Barry White. How low can you go? Yeah. Lou Rawls had a low voice. Yeah, he had a really low voice, too, as well. I can't go too low. I can go right about there. And that's about it. Saying hi to Kathleen McDermott Rentz. Hey, wait a minute. Are you guys married? Yeah, I guess you guys are married. Hey, Carl Van Meter, what's happening, buddy? Good to have you along with us today. It's Jesse Terrero. Love you, baby. Love all the fine martial arts movies. You can check out Carl Van Meter. He's a great martial artist. Black belt in many different forms. And good guy, man. Great actor, too. Thanks, Carl. I see him around a lot. And give me a job, Carl. Please give me a job. Please. Yes. Is that pathetic or what? Chime in with us right now. Let us know where you're at, what you're doing, as it's a fabulous Friday. At the end of the week, we like to know what's going on in your part of the woods, your part of town. We'd like to know what's happening. Dan the Man, the Package. Dan the Man, the Package is going to be hanging out with me tonight as the fabulous Jesse T Show is going to be probably at the W in Hollywood, and we're probably going to go over to the Sofitel. We're going to see what's going on there and what other mischievous activity we can get into. Did you see the Dan the Man dance as he had a Hollywood MJ dance-off? Yes, the Hollywood Michael Jackson's out there in front of the Chinese Theater. Dan the Man was out there dancing off with him. That's right. He was having a dance contest. That's up on Facebook.com/Jesse Terrero, the Dan the Man Package and the dance-off with the Hollywood MJs. And we had some current voting on that, and, well, I'll let you go check it out. You can see who wins. Dan the Man, the Dancing Man. So he's going to be out with us tonight, and we also have Artist Palooza on Saturday. Ed Asner and Mark Rydell and Tasha Blasek and her husband and many others, David Lockhart, and some other terrific movie stars are going to be out there doing plays in the park. So that's going to be great. Love to see Ed Asner and Mark Rydell do their play Oxymoron. It's a terrific play, a comedy, a two-guy play, a one-act two-guy play. It's really funny, really cool stuff. So check it out. We'll be broadcasting live out there as well. So we've got a lot of things this weekend that we're covering, but right now I did want to talk about a little what happened to me last night. And it's an interesting story because it does have a lot of ramification as to what's going on in our country today in terms of violence and guns and all those things. Some personal things have happened to me over the last couple of years. I'm going to share some of that stuff with you right now. And I think it's important because in my experience, you might be able to learn something here and might be able to see some understanding why I can't help but being me, Jesse T, the Trumpster all the way. What can I say? If you're Clinton, that's okay, but I'm a Trumpster all the way. It's me, Jesse T. The best of two evils right there, Donald Trump. I just can't vote for a liar whose pants are on fire, and we always catch her climbing up that telephone wire. Woo, you like the way I rhymed that together? Yeah, that was rhymes from the past and rhymes from the future. Hey, what can I tell you? It's the Brown Beauty on duty. Yeah, okay. So much for that. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to get a record contract on that one, do you? No, I don't think anybody's going to hire me. But we do have an artist that I am managing now at Wicked Entertainment and Management, my company that I've owned for a long time. It's a artist management company for recording artists, and his name is Isaiah Pickett. And he's working with Rocky Bird Allen, Grammy-nominated artist, and also one of the main writers for several of the boy bands back in the 90s, lyricists. So we're excited to see what's coming up there. He's in the studio almost every day. He's on tour up north, too. And I play a few things from him every now and then, but he's the next big thing. The guy is great. You might want to check him out. on Isaiah Pickett on SoundCloud, or you can go to Facebook, Isaiah Official Music on Facebook, Isaiah Official Music. Also, check out the Jolton J on SoundCloud, as well as the Jolton J on Facebook. Okay, so you can check out those guys. Terrific, and I think you'll find it very pleasurable, especially if you're in your rock blues, Mississippi rock blues. You're going to love the Jolton J. All right, so last night I had to draw my weapon. I had to, what? Wait a second. Stop that. No. Stop that now. I had to draw my weapon. No. You know, from that movie, you know what I'm talking about, that movie. That movie, one of my favorite all-time war movies about Vietnam. You know that movie where the drill sergeant is in the locker room and the new grunts are there and he's going through it. It's one of my favorite scenes. That's a terrific movie. And I had to draw my weapon. And you know that rhyme, they said, this is my weapon and this is my gun. My weapon's for killing and my gun is for fun. Right. Okay. Well, I had to drop my weapon. I had to draw my weapon last night. So let me tell you what happened. Very interesting. So I don't live in the best part of town right now. I live in a pretty tough part of town 3-4 nights a week. And the other part of time, I live in a nice part of town. One of the places that I live, which is a nice part of town, is Burbank. Burbank is beautiful. I spent many decades, my whole life there in Burbank on and off. My family got to Burbank in the 30s, and we got there when I was just a wee bit lost. About 61 or 62, I was 1 or 2 from Chicago, Illinois, and we came to Los Angeles, my family did, and we lived with Grandma and Grandpa in Burbank. Then my folks bought a house in Sun Valley, Stonehurst area, and we had a great time, and it was wonderful, and it was great, and the world was beautiful, and life was terrific. And then we moved into Burbank when I started my family. We moved into Burbank and spent about 30 years there, raised our children, and that was cool. And they're just wonderful people, young people, and we're real proud of them. And no big problems at all, really. But then the market was real good, so we liquidated some property, and we moved out hoping to get away, and maybe just to change the environment a little bit. We didn't need the house anymore, the big house anymore. Wanted to scale down a little bit. So we lived in a house in San Fernando, the city of San Fernando, which is a nice place to live. At least it was a nice place to live. So we were in the city of San Fernando, and I was there one night coming home from some rental properties that I had purchased when we sold the Burbank property and other properties here in the San Fernando Valley, some rental property that we had purchased up there in the Antelope Valley. We also purchased some property in other states, and we also purchased some property in other parts of California. So we moved up there into the city of San Fernando, and I was up there working on one of the rental properties in the city of Lancaster. Now, we have some property in Lancaster and Palmdale and Fontana and all around everywhere and sprinkled here and there in Bakersfield and blah, 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 blah. But here's the point. So I'm working on this property in Lancaster, about 1 o'clock in the morning, and I come home, and it's about 2, and I come to the city of San Fernando where we're living now in the house there. And as I drive up, this guy tags me from behind. He catches me or he follows me and pulls up on me as I pull up into the front of my house. He pulls up alongside of me. And as I get out of my car and walk to the front yard, to the front door, about halfway to the front door, he pops out of his car, which is parked or drive up very close to my car. And he pops out of his car, goes to the back of his trunk area, comes onto the sidewalk, and goes, "Órale, pues, ese, where you from?" And I said to myself, isn't this great? Whenever a gang member asks you, whenever a vato asks you, "Hey, órale, ese, where you from?" One of 3 things are going to happen. You're going to get shot, right? Or you're going to have a fight, right? Or something awful is going to happen. But ain't nothing good coming out of that when they say, "Hey, where you from? This is my hood. What are you doing here?" Right? The whole 9 yards. I grew up with that crap in the city of Sun Valley and Pacoima. Right? I remember that stuff. And so I turn around, I look at him, I draw my knife. I didn't have my weapon with me. I did not have my gun with me that night. So I had my knife with me. So I draw my knife up alongside my right leg as he says, "Where you from?" And he starts to approach me. So he gets onto the parkway, the grass parkway. That's the curb to the front yard. That's called a parkway. He gets on right to the parkway, which is not my property, even though we have to take care of it. That's city property. That's public property. So I'm trying. I said, "Oh, isn't this great?" Now he's about 15 feet away from me. So, there's something you got to understand, folks, and you may not know this. If a guy has a weapon, if a guy has a firearm and he doesn't have it drawn and it's not pointing at you, okay, and you have a knife, that guy is in very serious trouble only if you have a knife and you are trained for a long time in combat hand-to-hand warfare, okay? And that guy with a knife can get up on to that guy with a gun if it's not drawn very quickly. Very quickly. All right. Now, I wouldn't suggest ever do that because I'm talking about cats who train this stuff for 20 years. And they've probably been in some wartime combat situations. So they have a whole different approach mentally and emotionally to this. But a man with a knife or a woman with a knife is a very dangerous person, especially if they know how to use it. So I was trying to go into my house and walking away from him, looking back over my right shoulder to him. He decides to pull a weapon. Oh, isn't that great? So he pulls maybe at 22 or 25. He takes a step onto the sidewalk. He's still on public property. He's not on mine. He points it at me. I figure my front door is locked. I'm not going to be able to get in the front door. So he points it at me, and he's about 12, 13 feet away from me. So I look at him, and I angle up on him so it's a hard shot for him. He points it sideways like all those little gangsters do. He points it sideways, and he says to me, "Who are you, S.A.? I never seen you around here. This is my hometown. I own this town. What are you doing? I want to go into your house. I want some water. I want you to take me in your house." Right? And he's talking all this smack to me. And so I say to him, okay, in my brain, I say, okay, a couple things are going to happen. One is I'm going to die. And I accept that responsibility because my family, my wife, and my son are in that house on the other side of that 1.5-inch door, that 1.5-inch solid oak door. That's where my family is. And he wants to go inside, and he's got a gun. So I'm going to die in the front yard of my house in the city of San Fernando. That's the first thing that I accept. The second thing I accept, I'm going to kill him. He's going to die with me, and we're going to go to hell, and I'm going to be his nemesis for eternity because that will be something that I will look forward to forever and ever and ever into perpetuity. That's the second thing that comes to my head. The third thing that comes to my head, I wonder if I can get to him before he can get to me. So I said to myself, all right. So I angle up on him, and he's just a little too far away from me for me to get to him. There's nowhere in my yard I can go. My front door I know is locked, so I tell him, "Hey, man, come on in. Come on in, man. Come on down. Come on in the house. Sure, I'll get you some water. Oh, man, I want some agua. All right, no problem." So he's tatted up from the neck down. He's an ex-con. These are jailhouse tats. These aren't tats you get down to a local tattoo parlor, right? And so I didn't see any teardrop on his eye. I didn't see any. That's a 187. So, he's not a murderer yet. Maybe he's working me. Maybe I'm the work he's got to put in that night. Maybe I'm going to be the teardrop on his eye. So I said, well, come on in. Come on in the house. Come on. So as I come in, he kind of takes a step to the grass, and then he stops. And I said, no, come on. By that time, I'm on the third step of my front porch. I'm basically at the front door. I said, come on. Come on. Now, my wife's behind the door, and she says, she kind of unlocks the door, right? She knows something's going on. So something's happening. So But she doesn't quite know because we're looking at 1:30 in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning here. All right? Yes, all in the day of the life of Jesse T. What can I tell you? So I'm thinking, okay, I don't know if the door's open or not. And I don't have, well, I don't have a key because I usually go around the back if the door's not open because the back door is always open. So he doesn't go past the yard. He doesn't step on the grass. Now, my goal was if I could get him on the grass, I'm going to attack him because then he's about 8 feet away from me then at that point, 8 to 9 feet. And I'm going to take my chances, okay? Or if I can get him in the house, I'm going to kill him in my house. It's that simple. Hey, I don't mince words, okay? This is a talk show of Jesse T. This is me, the world according to me. I'm going to kill him. And I'll go to jail. Then I'll call the local San Fernando Police Department, and I'll turn myself in, and I'll go to jail. And if I go to jail the rest of my life, well, so be it. That's the way it is. That guy was not going to get into hurting my family. That was the bottom line. Simple and sweet. Okay? So, I knew if I could get him in the house, I had advantages. So, he comes up. He doesn't get on the grass. I get to the front door. I touch the doorknob. The door opens. I go, come on in, and I shut the door. Right? And my son wakes up, and I tell my son, watch the door. My wife locks the door. I tell her to go in the backyard, get the 911 call going. I go out to the gun safe, and I pull the shotgun out. All right? So I come back out to the front door with the shotgun ready to go. Now, I load the shotgun up with this is how I load my shotgun up. I'll tell you. Triple buck the first time. The next one's a slug. Triple buck, and a slug. Okay? So I chamber this sucker. And I'm ready to go with the Mossberg. All right? So I tell my son, go out the back with your mother, call the police, make sure she's doing that. And when I go out the door, you grab the AR-15 that's in the gun safe, and you come into the kitchen, and you put yourself right where I've told you to go, and anybody that comes through that door, you unload. That's simple. Because if that happens, I'm dead. I'm already dead. And you have to protect your mother. It's that simple. Okay? So he goes, okay. All right, so I go out the front door. I lock the front door. The guy's in his car driving away. There, by the grace of God, go I. I put one round into the grass just to scare the crap out of him. Right? I take the gun. I go back, put it in the gun safe. As I put it in the gun safe, the police from San Fernando Police Department show up. I explain the whole thing. Now, I happen to have my police car in the driveway and my M32 A2 Deuce, my N35 A2 Deuce, my Army truck in the car. Now, maybe that intimidated the guy a little bit because I'm neither an Army person or I'm neither a cop. But I have a police car because I use that in certain films and reality shows that I produce. So I have a couple of those. And I have an M35 A2 Deuce because I'm one of those prepper guys, you know. I'm the zombie apocalypse guy, right? All right, so anyway, so that goes down that way. So for the next 3 weeks, my daughter's coming home from her professional soccer playing in Europe. And I'm saying to myself, this is not going to work out. So, when I do the lockdown on the house, the four-corner search, I'm always home when the family's coming home. They call in first. They never come into the house the same way, down the street the same way. So all these rules go into effect. Because this guy walks away, and I embarrassed him. And I knew he was a little gangster. I knew he was, just by what he was doing. And I said, man, he's going to do one of a couple of things. Forget about this, or he's going to go back to his homeboys, and his homeboys are going to make him go back, or he's going to come back because he got to save face, and there's some disasters going to happen. So I have this house out in Lancaster that I live in, that I'm not living in yet, that I get ready for rent. Little 4-bedroom, 2-bath house. Nice neighborhood, too. And I rent it. I'm about ready to rent it out. And, I don't rent it out. I hesitate for about a week. And in that week that I hesitate, Jacob our dog, our big 110-pound, 120-pound boxer, male boxer, loved my Jacob. He passed away a year ago, about a year and a half ago. He's the greatest dog guy could ever have and a family could ever have. Jacob, our boxer, he, just he gave his life to save his family and protect his family. And so I'm sitting in the studio in the garage, and I hear Jacob outside in the middle of the day, and my son's on vacation from Christmas time, sleeping in his bedroom, and I'm getting taxes ready for the end of the year. And Jacob comes up to the door, no whining, no crying, and I kind of heard him, and I open the door to the studio, and he's there sitting down, looking at me, and he's got blood on his right paw. He's not licking it, he's just bleeding. And he gets up the minute I open the door, and he runs over to the wall in the middle of the yard, and he looks at the wall, and then he looks at me and comes back. So I am holstered up anyway. I pull my 45 out, right? I chamber it, and I get down in ready position and move myself to the back wall after I kind of check out the area to make sure, I got a little four-corner search going on, and I move myself to the back wall. Jacob dog stood right there and watched that back wall. He did not even move. So I knew nobody was there. So I addressed the wall and looked at the wall, and there's blood on our side of a 5-foot wall, a 4.5-foot wall. And it was my dog's blood from his right paw. So I look at the top, and I don't know if you know anything about boxers, but what boxers do is they stand on their hind legs, and they box with their front paws. That's what they do. And they hold on. Their paws have the ability to almost hold on like a hook, like a hand. And if you're watching on the camera here, if you're watching on the digital feed, you'll see they kind of hold on. That's what they do. So his paws were at the top of the wall because I could see the blood there. And he was standing on the wall, kind of against the wall, looking over the wall a little bit. And as I look over on the other side of the wall, there's some droplets of blood that go down through the neighbor's backyard, out his driveway, and then go away. So what happened was we took Jacob, locked down the house, took Jacob to the vet. The vet looked at him, woke my son up, told him what happened. We took him to the vet. The vet looked at him, and the vet said, "What happened here? Because your dog didn't catch his paw on a chain link fence or a piece of glass or a nail or a sharp piece of metal or wood or anything. What happened here? What happened? Because it looks like somebody scalpeled him with this, like a sharp scalpel, like a surgeon." And I said, "Yep, that's what I thought." So this is what happened. It's deduction. I'm in the studio doing my business. The guy comes back over the wall to assess the house from the back. He comes over the wall. He doesn't know Jacob dog. And Jacob dog is a big dog. And boxers, they are protective of their family and their surroundings and their homes like no other dog. The best dogs in the world, in my opinion. And Jacob looks at him. And when they attack, boxers don't attack loud. They attack quiet. And they go immediately. No hesitation. So he comes through the wall, through the bushes. Jacob doesn't bark. Jacob attacks him because he senses danger and takes him down because there was some crap in the little kind of grassy mud area right there, like a tussle. He takes him down, and I know how Jacob dog was. He bit him up pretty good. Probably bit his leg, probably bit his arm, probably bit his side. He bit him up pretty good, and he got a taste of man blood. That's right. And the guy went back over the wall, fighting my dog, going back over the wall. And as he went back over the wall, he probably drew his knife, and he slapped at Jacob's paw, and he split Jacob's paw, 38 stitches in that right paw. The next day, we moved to Lancaster. That simple. Got rid of that house and moved to Lancaster. Now, we arrive in Lancaster. That's got to be the most scum-sucking neighborhood you've ever seen in the United States of America in California. Lancaster has got to be the most scum-sucking neighborhood that you've ever been. I was never intending to live there. But better living there than fighting the gang members, Sanford gang. That was the gang. So we moved way far away. like 75 miles. I moved the whole family there, all right? Now, the family doesn't live there anymore because they're adults and they're going to school and they're doing their thing, right? So my wife and I live there, all right? Now, check it out. Check it out. That's got to be the most scum-sucking neighborhood in the world, all right? It's horrible. There are more people on EBT and welfare, crackheads, meth heads, little gangsters, black, white, brown, and green, horrible, disgusting, rotten varmints of the earth. It has got to be the worst place to live. There is nothing redeeming or quality of Lancaster. Okay? Nothing. You understand? Nothing. Except cheap property if you're going to rent it out to some of these scum suckers. Okay? No problem. But not to live there. But we get there because that's a safe zone for us. Had to get out of town, get out of Dodge. So we get there, and now we're there. Set up shop there, all right? Now, we're still traveling back to Burbank. About half the time we're in Burbank, half the time we're in Lancaster, 3/4 of the times we're in Burbank, 3/4 of the times we're in Lancaster. It jostles back and forth. And then I've got a ranch a little farther north, okay, that we go to. And we, piddle and have fun over there. All right, but here's the point. We're living in Lancaster. So I go to the Antelope Valley Fair. I come home, and there's like 12 sheriff cars, LA County sheriff cars around my house as I drive up. And I said, well, what's going on here? All right. I get a, who are you? What are you? How are you? Where are you? Who are you? What are you? How are you? Where are you? When are you? The 1,001 questions like 47 times, right? I said, that's my house. We were at the Antelope Valley Fairgrounds. What's going on? 3 black males kick my door down, 459 my house, steal my TV, steal my 2 TVs, steal some piddly crappy stuff, steal a couple other electronic things, and are running down the street at 4 o'clock in the afternoon with a 72-inch liquid TV on top of their shoulders. Now, go figure the stupidity of these people. Go figure. Are you kidding me? Really? The neighbor across the street sees it, calls 911. These guys, now there's 5 guys. 2 more guys come in the house to try to ransack it. Now, we're not there. If we were there, I'd have shot them all. I'd have shot every single one of them. Okay? But we're not there, thank goodness, because I don't want to shoot anybody. Absolutely not. All right? But I got to protect my family and my house. All right? So, there you go. Middle of the day on a Sunday. So they run down the street. Can you picture it? These 3, 4, 5 black guys, African Americans, are running down the street. Right? Carrying my stuff. All right, so the sheriffs are there. They're doing the sheriff's thing. Meanwhile, one of the sheriffs said, wait a second. He leaves, and he goes down the street, makes a right, crosses the street, makes a left, and in the corner house, like 3 blocks away, he goes and knocks on that door, and guess what? Guess what? The stupid idiot opens the door with one of my computers in his hand. Oh, really? Really? You think you'd have a better brain, right? If you're going to be a scum-sucking criminal, you think you would have a better brain, right? You scum-sucker, right? No, the criminals are the stupidest people in the God's blue-green earth, I swear to God. It don't matter what color you are. They're stupid people. Criminals are stupid. All right, so, right? So now, all of a sudden, like 5 other sheriff cars swoop down on this house and surround it. Now, this is 3 hours after I arrived to my house, right? So the sheriff says to me, one of them says, we got him. We got your stuff. We got him. So I said, okay, I'm going to go look at my stuff. He goes, no, wait a minute. I said, what? He goes, yeah, we're going to ID the stuff. You don't have to ID the guy. I said, I don't care about IDing the guy. He goes, well, just ID your stuff. All right, so later on, it was about 8 o'clock at night now, 9 o'clock at night by the time this episode completes itself. My door is kicked in. The frame is gone. I got to secure, so I spend the next, couple hours while they're doing the sheriff thing. I'm fixing my friggin' door. I'm barricading it up with 2x4s and 2x6s, right? So I finally get it fixed and barricaded. Everything's cool. So they pick me up. They put me in the sheriff's car. They take me around this back kind of way to where this house is just 3 blocks away. And they open up the trunk of the other sheriff's car. It was one of those SUVs, the Chevy ones, not the Ford Explorers, the first ones, the Chevy ones. I think they're Tucsons. Anyhow, they're Tahoes. They open up the back, and sure enough, there's my 72-inch TV. There's my computer, my laptop, some other electronic equipment, some other doodads and ding-dongs, right? So I scoop them back all up. I put them back in the trunk of the other sheriff's car, right? And then we take them home, and I put them away. All right. So this is what happened. The cats that they busted were apparently part of a ring that's been ripping off and 459ing all the houses in this neighborhood that I moved to, that I was forced to move to because this ding-dong, low-life piece of scum, rat-sucking, maybe legal or illegal Sanford Mexican gang member piece of crap. Yes, I talk bad about everybody I don't like. All right, what can I tell you? That's how I am. Right? He's just as bad as the stupid idiots at 459. This dude pulls a gun on me. I hope the worst for him. Sorry, I don't give up that easy, guys. I don't forgive like most people do. I'm sorry. That's the Italian in me. What can I tell you? All right? It's a 100-year vengeance. That's how I feel about things. All right. So, that scumbag there, we move from there over there, and we get hit by this scumbag over here. He's a Crips member. He's got an illegal 9mm that's loaded. He had it on his possession when he came to the house. Check this out, what I'm telling you. Is a Crips member, a known Crip member. He's the adult. He's got a bunch of young Crips, like 13 to 15. His henchmen, the 4 other cats, are youngster little gang member punks. Pieces of crap, low life. And they shouldn't have any redeeming quality. I don't care if you're 14 years old or not. Of course, you don't want me to be a judge because I would be like Judge Lee. I would be like Judge Parker. Judge Parker was a hanging judge. I have no problem about it. All right, here's the point. All right, so this guy has a 9mm. It's an illegal 9mm, right? He's a Crip, and he had it when he broke into the house. He didn't kick the door down, but he's a guy who was running down the street with a 72-inch TV. So, right? There by the grace of God go I. Again. All right? And my family. All right? So, I wasn't there. Had I been there and that would have happened, I'd have shot him. There would have been a raging gun battle in my living room, and he would have lost. It's just that simple. I got a gun in every room ready to be used. I'm just one of those crazy guys. What can I tell you? What's good at having a gun at your house if it's in the safe? I just taught my kids how to shoot and respect weapons when they were 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and 9 and 10 years old. How to break them down and clean them and fix them. There ain't no stupid weapon crap going on in my house. Come on. That's called being responsible. Teaching your kids how to respect things. All right, but here's the point. They're gone anyway. At that time, they were gone too. But here's the point. Didn't have to do that. So time goes on, and I'm living, sort of a lockdown in the house. I come home every different way. I make sure that when my family's arriving, that I'm trying to arrive there either right behind them or right in front of them. We're coordinating this time. This goes on for about 6 months to a year, right? Didn't want to go back to the valley because I found out who the Sanford gang member was. In fact, I found out who he was, what he was. He just got out of the pen, right? He did like a 10-year stint in prison for some stupid idiot, stupid moronic crap, hustling drugs and crap, right? Low life. And I found out where he lives, and I found out who he runs with, and I find out everything I need to find out about the guy. Come on, man. Hey, all right? Hey, it's me, Jesse T. What can I tell you? All right, so I'm not going back there for a while. I'm not going to roll around back there until I can get some different cars because I don't want to make sure that he doesn't have my license plates or some of his homeboys from Arizona didn't come down and get my license plates of any of my family members. So we go through the whole car bit, and everybody gets a different car. And a different plate. So now we're unrecognizable. So now we start moseying back into Burbank and all that stuff. And I still live out there, like I said, half the week or so. So while we're living out there, there's a big gang fight in the middle of the street. I mean, the son is beating up the uncle. There's another big fight down the street and around the corner. All right. There's a guy that's like holding hostage people, and the SWAT show up with a helicopter, and he holds the neighborhood over there hostage for 12 hours. He got an AK-47. They gas him out, cuff him down, the whole 9 yards. People's cars are getting ripped into. My car got broke into. Nothing was taken because I don't leave anything in the car. And it's just like, one thing after another. All right. So last night, well, actually about 2 weeks ago, my wife's car and my car are in the driveway. Yeah, probably around 3 or 4 in the morning, I think. Our fault. Actually, Mama T's fault. She leaves her car door open. And she leaves my door open. Well, it was actually my fault because I should have made sure that her door was shut and my door was shut. Oh, that was an argument in the Torero house, let me tell you. So, hey, saying hi to Mark again. Hey, what's happening, Mark? Oh, boy. Unbelievable. Yeah, Lancaster is a dump. There's no doubt about that. So, David Rios is watching. Thanks, Dave. Thanks for chiming in. I'm telling a story about crime and violence. And hopefully some folks are getting some learning about this. It's a personal thing that took place. So, a couple of weeks ago, they enter our cars at about 3 o'clock in the morning. I think about 3 o'clock because they were amateurs. I know the ones they were. There was 2 guys on a bicycle. I know who they were because they've been kind of scoping the neighborhood a little bit, and I've saw them, and I followed them one night, and, I gave them the old evil eye stare because, when people do that in my neighborhood, I give them the evil eye stare, right? Yeah, I don't walk away. What can I tell you? Probably should, but I don't. So that's why I need to be a cowboy on a ranch in Wyoming, That's what I need to do. I need to go to a state that has open carry. All right. So anyway, okay. They take the garage door opener. So the next morning when I wake up, I have to change the garage door opener codes, and I do all that immediately because, they already had gone by and hit that old garage door opener to see if they can get in the garage, and they couldn't. So nothing happened there. So last night, I'm having some beef with some tenants, right? And so last night, these tenants happen to know where I live, and that's a no because they happen to be people I knew that I put into these units. But anyway, so last night, these are just my suspicions. Last night at 2:30 in the morning. Now 2:30 in the morning, okay? 2:30 in the morning out in the desert isn't like 2:30 in the morning in the San Fernando, San Gabriel, the city. I mean, there's nothing going on except a low-life scumbag, varmint, piece of cockroach idiots, rat bastards. They come out at night. Swear to God. You look at, when I see The Walking Dead, it reminds me of Lancaster at night. I mean, there are so many crackheads and nefarious types walking around. All right. Well, we're getting out of there anyway. There's a plan that's in play. We're getting out of there now after about 3 years. We won't be back. I'll rent that house out now. I'm going to buy something here in the valley here in the next coming 3 or 4 months. I'm going to get back and buy something else here. So here's the point. I get this ding dong, ding dong, ding dong at 2:30 in the morning at my front door. The automatic lights go off. But this ding dong goes the doorbell. Now that never happens. It's never happened. So I go, what's that about? I wake up after the first ding dong. The first ding dong wakes me up. Okay? When that happens at 2:30 in the morning, where I live, I just reach across over to the drawer and I draw my weapon. It's that simple. I mean, they get housejacking out there all the time. So I'm ready for some characters to come blazing through the door. It's going to be a little difficult for them to get through my door, though. All right, that door is shackled down at night. They're not kicking that door in. That door's got a steel shank that goes into the cement. 2 steel shanks that go into the cement. That door ain't getting kicked in anymore. All right? They're going to have to come another way. And if they have to come another way, they're getting shot. That's it. Okay? So, if I'm home. Okay. So we wake up. I tell my wife, I say, look you know what you need to do? Go and do the 911 thing. Put 911, get ready to call them. Okay? And you'll know when to call them. You'll know when to call them is when you hear the gun go bang. Right? So the doorbell rings again. Ding dong. Now that's it. So I get up. We kind of both look out the front when I go back in the air. Go back. What are you doing? Right? I don't want to worry about you. Right? So nothing's there. Nobody's there. So what I do is I kind of get my pants on. I throw some shoes on. Throw some dark shirt on. Dark hat on. Right? And I go out another way in the house. I check the 4 corners of the backyard, make sure no one's there with my light that's on the gun, right? And I got a laser on that one too. And so I move it around. I come around the side, and I look over the wall, and there's nobody there. But the dog across the street is barking. Now, that's unusual. That dog barks when somebody is there walking down the street. That dog barks. It's the only time he barks. So, Jacob dog passed away 1.5 years ago. I can't talk about that because I'll start bawling like a baby. Anyway, so I'm sitting there looking out the side. Okay, so I come back in, check out the side on the other side of the house, check the house out again, right? I'm going out the garage. Hit the lights off the garage, take a position so I'm okay. Lock the door behind me as I go outside. Mama T's ready to make that call. And so I make my way out the garage slowly but surely, and I look around, and nobody's there. I check everything out. I roll out, shut the garage door with the garage door opener that I had to change, right? I dress myself into the car. I back the car out, and I drive it down the street. And I exit the property after I'm secure that it's okay. I exit the property, drive around the neighborhood, because I figure if some cats are on foot or bicycle, because that's what these scumbags do at night. Even the human traffickers and pimps, they're on bicycles now. All right, so, and the drug pushers. All right, everybody. Anytime you see a 35-year-old guy on a bicycle in the middle of the night, you know he's up to no good, or something's wrong with him. Man, what's wrong with you? Right. So, no one's in the neighborhood. I go left, right, around the neighborhood, kind of hang out there, right? Yeah, I still got the weapon. Right. So I'm saying, okay. So I make a left-hand turn, and there's a car. There's a car that I've never seen in the neighborhood. And it's 3:30 in the morning now. Okay? 3 o'clock in the morning. That car shouldn't be there. All right? So now I'm saying, okay, that's weird. And he's parked on the other side of the street with his lights, with just his running lights on. I said, Dad, wait a minute. That doesn't make sense. So I don't turn towards him. I turn away from him like I'm normal. I go around, I go down and make a right. I make a U-turn and come back down the street with my lights pointing to him, right? And as I come to him, as I make my turn to him, he drives out, makes a left and then a right. And I say, I know where he's going. So I turn around and I go down the street back the other way. I make a left, right? And I think I'm going to catch him right there because he made a right going down 5th, and I think I'm going to catch him, right? He wasn't there. And I went, Jesus, what is this, Star Trek? Wait a minute. So apparently he pulled a U and went back into the neighborhood. So I hang a bitch. That's what they call it. I hang a bitch. That's called hanging a U, right? I hang a U. I come back down 5th. I turn around, come back down the street that I live on, right? And I see the taillights of the car kind of go make a left. So I scamper down. He's about, 1,500 feet in front of me down this street. It's got those damn speed bumps in this street, right? Boom, blah, 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 boom, blah, 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 right? It's driving me insane. He pulls into a driveway, and I'm slowing down, and I'm thinking, okay, well, maybe this ding-dong lives here, and he's like hooked on crack, or he's smoking too much pot, right? You can tell my age there, right? Pot, right? Not smoking a pot. He's smoking some marijuana, right? Or he's a drunk, or he's a I don't know what he is, right? But he's got this kind of gray little SUV. All right, so I kind of go. He backs out of the drive. He comes back. We pass each other. I make eye contact with the rat bastard. Right? He's a white guy, a Caucasian, fair-skinned guy with black hair. Right? Driving this 2-door kind of SUV. You know, those little short SUVs that they made after the SUVs were so expensive in gas, and they shortened them down. Right? And I said, wait a second. That dude. Wait a minute. So I kind of pull up, make a left turn. A U-turn, come back. He makes a right turn down the end of the block. I don't want to make a right turn because I know if I'm going to make a right turn and he's there, I'm going to ram his ass with my car. Now that's it, right? So I don't want to do that. So I make a left turn and a right turn because I know the only way out of this neighborhood, he's got to get on 5th again. So that rat bastard comes out on 5th. He makes a right. Now, I'm down 3,000 feet on 5th. It's a long way from the light. So I make a right turn. The light is green for him. By the time I get up to the light, he made a left. He's down this street called J, and the light turns red on me. And I go, the light is red. Oh, no. I can't turn. Now most people would just turn because it's 3:15 in the morning. There are no cars around, right? But guys, I got a friggin' weapon in my car chambered. There's no way that I'm breaking any traffic rules in that scum-sucking cesspool called Lancaster. There's just way too many LA County sheriffs out there looking to pull me over. Now, how do I explain that one? I'm not. So I edge out a little bit, like you edge out, and I look down the street, Jay, as he approaches Sierra Highway and the railroad tracks. And if you guys know scum-sucking varmint cesspool of a place called Lancaster, if you know where that place is, then you know exactly. If you don't and you're living in New York, we all have scum-sucking rat-fink places around us, right? So your rat-fink place that's around your neighborhood is just like this rat-fink place that's here. So now he's down there. So I said, oh, man, I can't let this guy go. So I make a right and I pull a U-turn in a residential area on J, because you're allowed to, in California, make a U-turn as long as there's no commercial zone. You can make a U-turn. So I make a U-turn and I come down the street, right? And he makes a right. So I make a right and I lose him. I lose him. And you know something? Again, there, by the grace of God, go I. Thank you, Lord Jesus Christ, for not allowing me to shoot somebody in San Fernando, not allowing me to shoot somebody in Lancaster, and not allowing me to ram my car into this guy's rat bastard ass and shoot him too. There, by the grace of God, go I. I don't know what you're going to get out of this story, but it's the Jesse T. Show. The world according to Torero. The Brown Beauty is always here on duty, you know. It's me, Jesse T. Live at 5. Straight on the point. And remember, have a great weekend, a safe one, and there by the grace of God, go you, my friends. God bless you and America and your family. The Brown Beauty is off duty. See ya!